Welcome to the channel that covers everything where health and technology meet. Today, the RadRover Electric Fat Tire version 5. And there are a lot of things I'm excited to talk about with this bike, but the first thing you're gonna have to do if you decide to get it is assemble it. And should you be intimidated? Well, no. To be honest, I got two of these, one for me and one for my wife. And the first one took me about an hour to put together. But I was taking my time, trying to really make sure I didn't mess anything up, and I was also filming it, which adds a lot of time. When I got to the second bike, which is almost the identical procedure to assemble, it took me about 20 minutes. It is extremely easy. The hardest part is actually just unpackaging it. They package these very, very well, so that way you're gonna get this bike in great condition. So there's a lot of styrofoam and a lot of zip ties. Once you get through that, there's only a few steps to put it together, and it's not bad at all. So I think most people are gonna be able to do this quite easily. And there's a lot of great things to cover today. The quality of the bike, the enjoyment of the bike, and the overall exercise you can or can't get out of this. But if you could, first hit that like button. Huge assist for the channel, and I really, really appreciate it. Now, this is not a hype video for this bike, and it is not a feature by feature breakdown. You can go to their website or other YouTube videos for that. This is a real world. I've been playing with this thing. I've been testing it. I've been pushing it. What have I experienced? And what have I thought about it? But super quick, just in case you're new to this, here is a super fast breakdown of some of the features that you will get with this bike. And the first thing is it comes with this big old battery, which they say can go up to 45 miles per charge. And I will admit I was skeptical when I saw that, but now that I've been riding it for a while, I barely ever worry about charging it. It just goes and goes and goes. So you're gonna have a lot of fun without ever being broke down the side of the road without a battery charge or anything like that. If that's in your mind, don't worry about it. This thing goes for a very long time before you have to worry about charging. Next is that it has a 750 watt hub motor, which gives you plenty of power and top end speed to have a lot of fun, be able to get places quickly, do little work if you don't want to, do a lot of work if you want to. You can dial it in your way, but it has the power to get you there with a lot of fun and is gonna accommodate most people, hills, in different situations you're gonna run into. Nice brakes that do a very good job. This is a pretty heavy bike, and I'm 225 pounds, and I can say that when I hit those brakes, if I want to stop quick, I can. They do the job very well. It has a very beefy build. I mentioned that it's pretty heavy. This thing, if you want to lift it, I mean, I can do it, but it's not easy. It's pretty heavy. It's well built. It is strong. If you're worried about this breaking down or just not being built with quality welds or quality parts, you don't have to worry about that. This thing is sturdy. An LED light in the front, a tail light in the back, so people will be able to see when you brake. So when you hit these brakes, this lights up back here, and the light you can turn on and off in the front. So if you do want to get into those darker hours, you're going to be able to and have lights on the front and the back. And you have a really nice control panel here that's going to give you all the information you need and all the control to keep the experience where you want it. So you'll know how fast you're going, how much power you're using, the assist level you're at, all sorts of information. Very fun, easy to work with, but gives you what you need to know to ride this bike appropriately. And last, this thing has massive tires, so you're gonna be able to go where you want, when you want. There's not gonna be too many places this thing can't handle. So what has my experience with this bike been like? Well, I don't wanna sound like one of those YouTube reviewers where you watch it and immediately go, wow, that dude's only trying to sell this bike. But to be perfectly honest and direct with you, this thing has been an absolute blast. I am out in the country and I'm at a place right now where only tractors drive. So all these trails are not great condition at all. But I have been cruising all over these, having a blast. Between the quality build of the bike, how hefty it is, the suspension, and these huge tires, I'm handling no problem and just enjoying it so much. Now, you're obviously not gonna be able to go over a tree that's down the trail, but it's gonna be able to handle most terrains quite well. And it's just been fun to know I can go where I wanna go and not have to worry about if I'm gonna get stuck or if my bike can handle it. But because this is built for off-road, it's not good on the road itself. Not true. And that is not true at all. This thing has been amazing on the roads, and that's where I've done most of my riding. So everything I've been saying good about this bike applies to the roads as well. It's smooth, easy to control, easy to change the settings, easy to dial into what you want. Everything about the road experience has been great. And again, that's part of what makes this so special is that you can have that road experience, trail experience, go anywhere you want. This bike's gonna be able to handle it pretty darn well. And a lot more to come on this bike, but first, a quick word from today's sponsor, Skillshare. And a huge thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video and helping me to create these videos. If you're not aware, Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creators. Explore new skills, deepen existing passions, and get lost in creativity. I recently wrapped up YouTube Success, Script, Shoot, and Edit with MKBHD. Because, well, I create YouTube videos, and I love to learn everything I can about this space. And Skillshare makes it easy to learn new skills for lifetime learners. It's curated specifically for learning, meaning there are no ads, and they're always launching new premium classes, so you can stay focused and follow wherever your creativity takes you. They have all sorts of topics available, including film and video, graphics design, creative writing, web development, crafts, and so much more. One of my favorite things about Skillshare is that it makes learning enjoyable. But more so is the feeling you get after you complete a series. You have a whole new skill set you didn't have before, and you're prepared to take that to the next level. And Skillshare is making that easy because the first 1,000 people to click the link in the description will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership. All right, let's get back to the trails. Now, I love being outside and I love riding a bike, but when I am doing this, I want to be getting exercise. So let's take a second to talk about if you can still get exercise on something like this or if it is completely cheating. And to be perfectly honest, when I ordered this, I was pretty sure I was going to really enjoy it. But I was also very worried that this might become my new bike that I had so much fun with, that I didn't go to anything else, but I didn't get exercise on this, and I lost a lot of exercise I normally would get over the summer months. Well, I'm happy to report that that is not the case at all. Now, if you do decide to get this and you want to support the channel, I do have a link in the description. Thank you. What is really neat about this bike is how much control you have over how much it helps you and how easy that is to change, and change frequently as you're riding and changing the conditions of the road you're on or the hills you're going up and down. So let's say you're just doing something through town and you don't want to get all sweaty. You want to have a nice, easy ride. Well, there's a throttle right here. If you want, you can use that and it will do all the work. You don't have to pedal one time if you don't want to. Maybe you want to work just a little bit. Well, you have different pedal assist levels you can dial in, all the way from no help to do most of the work. And if you dial it all the way up, when you pedal, you barely have to do anything and this bike's gonna do most of the work for you. So you really have a lot of control over, is this gonna do the work or am I gonna do the work, or somewhere in the middle. And these settings are so easy to change. As I said, the throttle's right here, so anytime you need to, you can grab that. You can use it while you're pedaling. So when I'm at a stop sign and I wanna get through there quick because I know cars are waiting, I pull the throttle all the way and use the pedal, so between me and the bike working together, I can get through a stop sign faster, and cars go a lot of times, so it makes it very easy. You don't have those stressful situations where you're trying to pedal really hard through something. You work together with the bike. On top of that, you have buttons over here, and this is where you control your pedal assist. There's an up button and a down button. You hit up when you want more sport, down when you want less, and you can change that as much as you want, so it's very easy. You're in the middle of a hill and suddenly you feel yourself slowing down, you can't quite do it. Click it up a couple times and you'll feel the bike immediately kick in. It's helping you more. You get up that hill with ease. And there's a lot of ways to ride this bike and still get exercise or do what you want to do. For example, if you're just going around town and you know it's slower roads and you're just kind of taking it easy, but you still want exercise, turn the support off. You can still do that, or just have it at 1 where it just barely helps. You'll still get exercise. But here's how I maximize the quality of the exercise, but still have a lot of fun and match my riding style, because I want to be thrilled a little bit more. I actually dialed the support level up to a 4 or 5, which is max level or right below max. And you might be thinking, well, that means the bike's doing most of the work. Well, what I also do is I change the gear. And yes, it has gears just like a normal bike, so you can shift based on what you're doing at that moment. I dial it all the way up. So the hardest gear, which is hardest to use, but also the one that lets you go the fastest. Well, even when the bike's supporting you a lot, if you want to push and maintain a really high speed, this bike's going to help you, but you're still doing a lot of the work. So I'm able to zoom around in the country and fly around different locations, getting to see a lot, but have a lot of wind in my face and just feel like I'm moving around fast and really enjoying myself, usually at a speed of 23 to 24 miles per hour. And that's about the top speed you're gonna get out of this. But I have a lot of fun riding like that, but I'm still getting a fantastic workout. But I'll wrap it up and say, yes, you can get great exercise. Not full out, I'm doing extreme cardio, but still very, very good exercise. Another thing I love about this bike is how it supplements exercise in where you normally wouldn't get it. I find myself coming up with excuses to ride this bike over where I normally would have drove. Need to go to the post office, need to get a couple things at the grocery store, just various errands you might have to do, taking the kids places. Take a bike ride. Instead of sitting in a vehicle just driving somewhere, you're riding your bike, having a lot of fun, but getting some exercise. You might not be getting extreme cardio on those, but it's still a lot better than sitting in a car. So I've found myself having a lot of fun just using this for various activities that normally I wouldn't have thought of taking a bike. So let's wrap up this video with a couple things I haven't talked about yet. But first, I do have a couple more e-bike reviews coming out. So if you want to stay on top of those and know when those videos come out, or anything else where health and technology meet, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you do know when those videos come out. But one thing I do want to talk about is that just about every video I do, I point out negatives or things you should be aware of. And when it comes to this bike, I've got none. I have not found anything I don't like. So far, it has worked perfectly, has done everything I've wanted to. It's been so easy to use, and it's been thoroughly enjoyable. So while I normally like to bring up negatives or things that you need to know about just so you're super well informed, I don't know if there are with this. Another thing to point out is that these bikes are pretty modifiable, meaning that you can add accessories to them and tweak them to how you want to use them. So in my case, I have a little carrier rack in the back, which makes it easy to haul things around, especially when I'm doing kids activities or errands. But I also have a hookup to my little kid's bike, so he can ride behind me, and he absolutely loves it. I can crank up the support on the e-bike a little bit, and so I still get exercise, but normally it can be pretty hard when you have all that dead weight behind you, and he's a heavy little guy. But with this and the support of the e-bike, I get a great workout, but we both have so much fun riding around. So that is another very fun way to use this bike. And I'll wrap this up by just saying, personally, I've rode a lot of bikes, and I love all sorts of bikes, but I've never had more fun than using this bike right here. I'm able to use it in so many ways. I'm able to zip around corners. It handles my body and my size really well. It is just a super, super fun activity, but also great exercise. So I hope that helps you out. If it does, please make sure to hit that like button. Again, subscribe to stay on top of everything where health and technology meet. But until next time, here's to a healthier you, and have a good one.